اطلب العلم أخي فهو درب به نور، به ترقى به تحيا عالما حرا فخور.
اطلب العلم أخي فهو درب به نور، به ترقى به تحيا عالما حرا فخور. اطلب العلم أخي فهو درب به نور، به ترقى.
When I was maybe about 17 years old, was when I met Akbar. He was maybe 37 years older than me. So he was the same age as my mother. My mother gave birth to me same year, 1923. And my mother used to harass him. He would call her and he said, "Can I speak to Dawood?" And she said, "There ain't no Dawood here. There's no Dawood. You don't call my home and ask for no Dawood. His name's David. You call him what I call him." And he was very nice, very well-mannered, until this had an impact on my mother. And later on, before my mother passed, whenever she would talk about Akbar Muhammad, she would talk about him as though she's talking about a dignitary. But not to overdo, because our Shaykh, our older brother, he has quite a legacy that most of you are not familiar with. Most of you are not aware that he used to be an officer and somebody within this group called the Nation of Islam. That time he was with that group, he was so fearless. They made him as one of the #1 guards or officers for the Minister Farrakhan in New York City. He was on post day and night at his house to protect his place and his mansion. And you know, time went on, and it was a test of him. And Islam was emerging. And alhamdulillah, most of you are not aware of tremendous dawah that took place from across seas. Tremendous dawah. This group was determining that they were going to move towards mainstream Islam. And this man, this older man from the Mamlaka area, this island named Shaykh Dawood, he sent countless amount of monies, books and materials to see that process happen. And he also sent countless amount of du'at, at least maybe like in the dozens of them, through an organization called Rabita. Are you familiar? Yes. And through that, we were able to have a sheikh who came from that area, that studied from Nigeria and then Medina, and over there studying from Shaykh Dawood. And he came into the masjid there in New York City. And it began to transform our understanding of Islam on the ground. And it was in that kind of situation that the elements of Sunnah began to reach people like Shaykh Akbar Muhammad. I first met him, he was saying, the messenger said this and the messenger said that, and he was talking about somebody else. Until that process began to take place. And he became very, very stern about the Sunnah. You don't understand. He used to walk around with a suit every day of his life. when he began to grasp some of the Sunnah, the Tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he wanted to emulate what would be pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So at an old age, he was already 67, 70 years old, he began to adorn himself with characteristics of Sunnah. These are from people who, from his time and where he came from what these people call the Jim Crow era, the lynching era, where you can't even utter a word, except you can be tied up to a tree and be cut into pieces and fed to dogs. And he decided that he wanted to be someone different. He wanted to be people of Islam. It's a cost. You have to be different. This was something that was very unique about the people from his era who was able to make that transition to the Sunnah. It wasn't just like you just came and you told him about Islam. He went through a whole lot of different situations here and came to a Deen al-Haq. There's very few people who walked the streets with him in the 70s. I was one of them. At 17 and 18, we used to go out in the streets and give dawah. We used to go and knock the doors in the buildings. He used to be with me. Sometimes we'd have to walk in the streets to protect the Muslim women. And he would be 60 years old walking with me as a soldier to protect the Muslim women, walking them home. They would walk a space or so ahead of us and we would shadow them, walking them home. Many nights like that. And he used to be one of the major persons for security in New York City for the Muslims. Akbar Muhammad has an amazing story because whatever he did, he tried to do with perfection. When he left from the Dalala and he came towards the Deen al-Haq, he tried to do it with the perfection, within his own ability. So end on that to say, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him al-Firdaus. May Allah give him the highest of Jannah. Al-Firdaus al-A'la. And also then to mention to us about the Maut. And that is why we're here. Because of the Maut. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. And he gave us the death and the life. خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوكُمْ, to test you. أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. Which one of you are going to do good in your deeds? Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said that every soul is going to taste the death. وقال الله سبحانه وتعالى قل إن الموت الذي تفرون منه فإنه ملاقيكم. Tell them the death that they are running from, is going to catch up with them. Then they are going to be, you're going to be returned. To the one who is the knower, and the one who witnesses. Right? What he witnesses? brothers witnesses from us. What do Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala witness from us? And he will be telling us what it is that we were doing. They're Muslims. The incidents of death are already written by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Pay attention. The food to eat has already been written. Tonight might be your last meal. Pay attention. The drink you have may be your last swallow. Pay attention. The book that is being written for you, Allah have taqdeer for that. Your chapter may be ending soon. And always think of the death as a way towards getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We grieve our brother. We cry for our brother. But the crying is not just aimless. The crying is singling out the tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the assistance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The crying, the bukah is being able to have the privilege from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as people of ibadah to be able to call and single out Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because He will take care of this. He will take care of the death. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Wa subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
جزاكم الله خير من داود. بارك الله لكم. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to benefit us with what you said. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward you for what you said. اللهم اغفر لأخينا أكبر محمد. اللهم اغفر له وارحمه وتجاوز عن سيئاته يا رب. اللهم اجعل ليلته هذه خير لياليه يا رب. يمن كتابه ويختم كتابه وادخله الجنة بغير حساب ولا حساب. This is some of the Prophet's advices to make a sacrifice for his brother, because now he's being asked. Right now he's being asked. Allahumma ighfir lahu, Allahumma ighfir lahu, Allahumma ighfir lahu, Allahumma thabbithu an